Hey guys, 209 here, bringing you a patch rundown for patch 0.9.0. Let's go over buffs first. Lux Received +1/+1, taking it from a 3/4 to a 4/5. This buff is nice and helps out a lot with making her more of a solo threat, but all in all, what's holding Lux back isn't her attack and health, it's her mana cost. Yasuo became easier to level up, but honestly, this isn't Yasuo's problem. He needs more cards to exist with recall and stun, because the majority of them are just bad cards. Therefore, his deck building cost is so high, it makes him a terrible card. Arena Battlecaster went from a 2/1 to a 2/2. This is a gigantic buff. He was already a constructed playable card. I used him personally in Noxus Spiders to a top 7 master spot. This makes him unable to be killed by 1/1s in combat, and he can no longer be vile feasted. These are massive buffs. Prefer to see more Battlecaster. Crimson Curator went from a 3/2 to a 3/3, in an attempt to make the Vlad archetype more powerful. I don't think the deck will be good, but this is going in the right direction. Jewel Protector gained +1/+1, and is now a 4/4. That's a huge buff, and it allows an actual playable card you might even see in some ladder topping lists. Curving this card into Hecarim is big game. Scuttlegeist gained Fearsome. That isn't what's holding this card back, but it makes sense overall. Tortured Prodigy gained 1 attack, and I think this buff does close to nothing for the playability of this card. It was terrible as a 3/4 and is terrible as a 4/4. Now let's touch on the nerfs. Deny got changed from 3 mana to 4. This is a massive nerf to both Elusives and Fiora. It's hard to put into words how much of an impact adding 1 to the mana cost of spells actually impacts their efficiency. Rasa went from 7 mana to 8. This change is a lot bigger than it looks. You can no longer curve Hecarim into Rasa, and this was a huge part of Fearsome's game plan. Taxing a mid-range deck like Fearsome on their finishers is going to highly impact their ability to finish the game, and really affect their overall power level. Commander Ladros went from 8 to 9 mana, and everything I said about Rasa applies to Ladros. Wraithcaller no longer has Fearsome, so now you can actually chump block the card. No longer will Fearsome have the nut draws of dropping a Fearsome unit on turns 2, 3, and 4. This nerf will make stabilizing in Fearsome much easier. Inspiring Mentor went from a 1/1 to a 1/2, and his skill was changed from giving another unit in hand +1/+1 to giving +1/+0. This nerf is huge for Elusive, as they can no longer bluff their Greenglade duos, Conspirators, or Lifeblades out of removal range, making them much more susceptible to Piltover and Zon-focused control decks like Ezreal and Heimerdinger. Kingo Lifeblade is now a 2/2, and this is a gigantic nerf. You can no longer buff him out of removal range, and he can't block near as efficiently overall. This hurts Elusive's ability to win in a real significant way. Back-to-back now costs 6 mana. This nerf is big because the difference between 5 and 6 is huge, but the card is still incredibly powerful in a creature combat-focused game like Legends of Runeterra, and will continue to see play. Now that we've covered the changes, let's do some meta predictions. The top 3 decks that I see becoming dominant are likely Ezreal, Heimer, and Noxus Spiders, due to Fearsome getting weaker and Elusive being hit incredibly hard. Now that you can't buff your units out of Mystic Shot and get excited range, I expect a surge of these decks. They were already very solid decks, and this just makes a good deck even better. Fearsome pushed Noxus Spiders out of the meta to an extent, and now with their mid-range tools being heavily nerfed and Battlecaster receiving such a large buff, I would bet we see a big resurgence of Noxus Spiders. Let me know your predictions in the comments below. Tell me where you think I was wrong and where you agree. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for upcoming Runeterra content.